Good evening. Welcome to this edition of Northeast Diary. Here we bring you the latest developments from India's unexplored Northeast region. Friends, you may have heard about products made out of bamboo, but have you ever heard of bamboo biscuits? That's right. The Tripura government is bringing in tasty bamboo biscuits as part of Vocal for Local initiative. Today we'll also go over to Meghalaya and learn how taking up embroidery is changing the lives of women in the state. The tiny Himalayan state of Sikkim has seen many young leaders come up across sectors to inspire others. These leaders come from schools and colleges to parliament, like the 32-year-old Lok Sabha MP Indra Hang Subba, who is also the state's only representative in the lower house.
Gangtok-based aspiring youth leader Abhinam Mangar was the second runner-up at the National Youth Parliament 2020 and even found appreciation from Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The 21-year-old college student is a teacher for those in need of education, holds workshops for teachers and creates awareness on menstrual hygiene and environmental hazards besides picking up the pen for poetry and research. Abhinam, who likes being called a youth motivator instead of a leader, speaks about his work and objectives.
10 to 15 children को हम पढ़ाते हैं, उनको वैल्यू एजुकेशन, मोरल एजुकेशन पे क्लास करवाते हैं और हम दूसरे नए टीचर्स जो भी इस प्रोग्राम में जुड़ना चाहते हैं उनको वर्कशॉप्स कराते हैं, उनको ओरिएंटेशन करके उनको भी इस प्रोग्राम पे आगे आने के लिए हम प्रेरणा करते हैं। और दूसरा सोशल वर्क जो हम बहुत ही वर्ष से करें, जो 2-3 वर्ष हुआ है, वो है मेंस्ट्रुएशनल हाइजीन पर। ये मैं द रेड सनशाइन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के अंतर्गत कर रहा हूँ और मैं उनका प्रोजेक्ट डायरेक्टर हूँ। द रेड सनशाइन पे हम क्या करते हैं, जो मासिक महोत्सव होती है और जो महीनावारी का प्रॉब्लम होते हैं, हम उसके विषय पे चर्चा करते हैं और इससे हम एनवायरमेंटल कंसर्न्स, प्राकृतिक बचाने के लिए और प्राकृतिक सेवा के लिए भी हम काम करते हैं। The only change that I want to bring in the society is that I want youths to be vocal about their ideas, their way of thinking, and also I want the only changes that in the world is that democracy is a right, okay, and this right should not be violated in any other ways. So the only changes that I want to bring in the society or in the future or any changes that if I can bring forward is to make youth Atmanirbhar, to make them self-reliant and to teach them how to come forward in the society.
Abhinam sees himself as a youth voice as he works to encourage youngsters to share their ideas and bring change to become Atmanirbhar. With Saikat Sarkar, this is Parijat Sharma for Northeast Diary from Sikkim.
In Arunachal Pradesh, the state government has launched eSanjeevani OPD, the patient-to-doctor telemedicine service, at Tomo Riba Institute of Health and Medical Science in Naharlagun this week. A report.
Arunachal Pradesh Health Minister Alo Liwang on Monday launched the eSanjeevani OPD, the patient-to-doctor telemedicine service at the Tomo Riba Institute of Health and Medical Sciences in Naharlagun. With the launch of this platform, people seeking medical consultations from doctors at the Tomo Riba Institute of Health and Medical Sciences can now log on to esanjeevani.in or just download eSanjeevani OPD app in their mobile phones from Google Play Store to get in touch with their doctors from the comfort of their homes. This service is a virtual OPD enabling the patients to interact with doctors via webcam and then, according to their conditions, can be prescribed medications free of cost. Mr. Liwang said that the people are going to be benefited from this as they will be availing medical services without going outside.
eSanjeevani का जो OPD लॉन्च जो जनरल पब्लिक के लिए लॉन्च करके बहुत खुशी है, क्योंकि इस कोविड पेंडेमिक का बीच में हमारा जो आम पब्लिक जहाँ टाउन में जहाँ तहाँ नहीं जाके, रात में नहीं जाके, अपना घर के अंदर बैठ के ही मोबाइल से कांटेक्ट कर सकता है। तो मोबाइल से बैठ के डॉक्टर्स को कंसल्टेशन कर सकता है। ये बहुत अच्छा मौका है, बहुत अच्छा चांस है। हमारा स्टेट में स्पेशल अरुणाचल प्रदेश में नेट कम्युनिकेशन का बोटलनेक है, तो इसके लिए प्रॉब्लम तो जरूर होगा। फिर भी हम कोशिश करते हैं, सारा हमारा डिस्ट्रिक्ट में हम लोग नेट का जो प्रबंध सब जगह में कर रहा है। तो गांव में इतना तो हमारा नहीं जा रहा है, क्योंकि गांव में तो कई बार से लोग नहीं वापस आता है, तो उसमें तकलीफ तो नहीं होगा। तो चैलेंजिंग तो बहुत होगा तो नेट का कारण से, फिर भी हम इससे बहुत सुविधा मिलने वाला है, क्योंकि जो डिस्ट्रिक्ट में नेट कम्युनिकेशन होगा वहाँ से कॉन्टेक्ट हो जाएगा, जो नहीं हो पाएगा वहाँ में भी हम लोग का जो मेडिकल ऑफिसर जरूर मौजूद होगा वो हमें मदद करने के लिए।
The eSanjeevani OPD services will be available on all weekdays from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. to start with shall increase as and when required. For Northeast Diary, this is Rakesh Dole, Air News, Itanagar.
Tuensang district, one of the oldest districts in Nagaland, got a facelift in its sports infrastructure in badminton stadium initiated by district administration in collaboration with Beti Bachao Beti Padhao and the contribution of the head of departments in the district. A report from our Kohima correspondent.
As one travels to the remotest parts of Nagaland, Tuensang district, through back roads and an arduous journey, you will be greeted with a beautifully designed indoor badminton stadium once you enter Tuensang town. Initiated by Tuensang District Administration in collaboration with Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, and also contributions of the heads of departments recently came together in renovating the stadium, which was constructed in 1999. The badminton stadium in a traditionally art form now stood beautifully was designed by the Project 72 Hours team. Let's hear it more on the initiative from District Fishery Officer, who is also the president of the Tuensang District Badminton Association, Ronsen Kumzub.
So under the DC initiative, the DC has encouraged the HODs during the DPTB meeting for fundraising in order to beautify this stadium. Because exteriorly what happened is that being in the parade ground, all the important functions like Republic Day, Independence Day used to be held in the parade ground. But the exterior painting of the Tuensang Badminton Stadium was in a very pathetic condition. So in order to beautify that, DC has told the HODs to come forward with the donations, and then I'm very grateful to the HODs for donating a huge sum of amount. And then we also in collaboration with the Beti Bachao Beti Padhao schemes, they also tried to advertise that in order to encourage the women, girls and women in sports also, they also agreed to collaborate with us. Because of the initiative of HODs, administration, Beti Bachao Beti Padhao team members, and then the TDBA who were the initiator. So all of us combined together, we could paint. And Project 72 from Kohima, they took the initiative of coming forward to paint the stadium. So 6 of them came forward, and then they did a very good, commendable job. And then we are very grateful to everyone who has contributed. Because of their contributions, everything could be materialized.
This beautification drive serves an encouragement to all communities to look at things as a whole, but also shape the communities to contribute more in making their town and city a better place to live. With Lipichun, this is Asunyo from AIR News Kohima for Northeast Diary.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's call for vocal for local and to build up an Atmanirbhar Bharat has set a huge encouraging trend among the people all across the country. Many people and youth are setting examples of new experiments and innovations that bring in new products and commodities using local raw materials. In the line, bamboo cookies have come up in Tripura. After its experiment with bamboo bottles, the state has brought in bamboo-based biscuits which are being produced from tender shoots of bamboo, and that bamboo is abundantly grown in the state. With more details, our Agartala correspondent has filed a report.
The Bamboo and Can Development Institute has brought in a new invention, bamboo cookies, followed by its bamboo mat bottles. The official said that the bamboo cookies are made with the tender shoots of a remarkably thin and naturally sweet variety of bamboo called Muli bamboo, which is organic and available in forests in Tripura. To make these cookies, the bamboo shoots are crushed and processed before being mixed with wheat flour, butter, and other ingredients like clove, cardamom, nutmegs, and cashew nut. The Muli bamboo shoots are traditionally used by the local people as vegetables in curries and soup. In charge official of the Bamboo and Can Development Institute, VCDI, Dr. Avinav Khan said that
this is just like any other bakery cookies. What we do, we add wheat, sugar, fat, condiments, and there is a proportion of bamboo shoot paste. Production rate is just similar to that of any other bakery cookies. So in a future, these products will be available in the local bakeries. And recently on 18th September, our Honorable Chief Minister launched these cookies. And now we are just going to have a training program where we will train to the locals about how to make these cookies. These cookies require very simple equipment, like we need only oven, so that the people or the SHG groups or the other bakery people can make these products and sell it to the market. The good thing about these cookies is, like, as this is fortified and mixed with bamboo shoot paste, so these cookies again have a goodness of that bamboo shoot, which is protein, vitamin, minerals and dietary fiber.
This is expected to help the local people, particularly the youths and the women SHGs, to grow strong economically. For Northeast Diary, this is Rina Nomaitem from AIR News, Agartala.
Embroidery and handicrafts are paving the way for a better livelihood in Meghalaya and the country as a whole, while at the same time empowering women in the sector is making them self-sufficient. One such example has been exhibited by the Shubham Charitable Association, an organization working under the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana, changing the lives of many women in the state.
It is possible to fly without motors, but not without knowledge and skills. This saying fits in perfectly with the context of this story, which is about skill development. Skill development is a proven enabling agent to get closer to employability. In this post-COVID era, women's role in the new economy are setting the trends for the society. And one of the trendsetters is the Shubham Charitable Association under the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. Chairperson of Shubham Charitable Association Skill Development Center, Mrs. Pushpa Bajaj, said that the objective of this center is to encourage and empower those women and young girls who are economically backward. Till date, the center has so far trained over 11,000 young girls and women. Here, in this center, women are taught the art of making handicrafts and embroidery to enable them to stand on their own feet.
मैंने 1998 से शुभम का प्रारंभ किया। इसके पीछे जो एक उद्देश्य था वो ये कि आज हमारे समाज में जो आम महिलाएं हैं वो बहुत दबाव में रहती हैं, बहुत ज़्यादा आर्थिक कष्ट के जो उनको झेलना पड़ता है, उनके ऊपर बहुत सी जिम्मेवारियां होती हैं। उनको इस वेदना से कैसे बाहर निकालना, उनको आर्थिक रूप से सशक्त करना, आत्मनिर्भर बनाना, इसी उद्देश्य से मैंने ये संस्था का प्रारंभ किया था। और समाज, परिवार सभी ने मेरा इस कार्य में बहुत सहयोग किया और धीरे धीरे चलते चलते 2016-17 में हमने इसको प्रधानमंत्री कौशल विकास योजना से जोड़ा और तकरीबन 98 से लेके आज तक हम लोग 11,000 के लगभग हम लोगों ने लड़कियों का स्किल डेवलपमेंट का काम हम लोग कर पाए हैं। इस संस्था के माध्यम से हम बच्चों को टेलरिंग, एम्ब्रॉयडरी, कंप्यूटर, ब्यूटी एंड वेलनेस और भी हस्तशिल्प से लेके रिलेटेड जो भी चीजें हैं वर्कशॉप उनका कराते हैं। पिकल मेकिंग वगैरह और नई नई चीजें भी इसमें इंट्रोड्यूस हम लोग कर रहे हैं और हमारे बच्चे बहुत आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, अपने पांव पे खड़े हो रहे हैं, उन्हें बहुत अच्छे अच्छे मौके मिल रहे हैं।
Notably, embroidery and handicrafts are creating waves in the state and across the country. It is high time to empower the women in this sector to equip them with the much needed skills to face the economic challenges. This is Rustam for Northeast Diary from Shillong.
Well, friends, we have all heard of the self-help groups known as SHGs, which are an informal association of people who choose to come together to find ways to improve their living conditions. In India, many SHGs have become a vehicle to encourage self-employment and poverty alleviation. SHGs of Ukhrul district of Manipur created national headlines in the country for making huge achievements in the Van Dhan Yojana recently. Now, another group of SHGs from the same district has tirelessly worked to promote garlic in the state. A report from our Imphal correspondent, JJ Thokcham.
The garlic of Talui village of Ukhrul district of Manipur has different tastes and better quality compared to garlic produced from other places. 14 women self-help groups of this village have collectively organized the garlic festival since 2010 to create awareness about the garlic produced in the village, and the production capacity has also been increasing from year to year. Over 10,000 kilograms of garlic were put up for sale on the first day of the festival. Many experts from horticulture and agriculture departments turned up to support the women farmers in the festival. Speaking to AIR News, chairperson of Kharnangrum Garlic Cell Health Groups, S. Singnam, said that
Garlic Festival was first organized in 2010. This Garlic Festival is organized by this SHG group from this Talui village. Talui village is, of course, a very small village, but we are organizing this festival so in order to let all the people taste the good quality of garlic. And especially these are pure organic people from outside or other people who came and visit our villages. They said that our garlic taste is very good, and they said that it seems the quality of our garlic is very good. Now we are producing more and more. We are producing about 8,000 to 10,000 kgs of garlic. We earn a lot from it. We want all the people of Manipur to use this garlic in spite of importing from other states. We are not getting any help from the government, so we are doing by our own self. We need help from the government also.
the Jin Sin amongst the women self-help group members of Talui village has shown a path to us for being self-helper to create employment, income generation and being involved in socio-economic change. JJ Thoksom from Imphal for AIR News, Northeast Diary.
In this episode of Northeast Diary, we'll present an interview of the chairman of the Mizoram Youth Commission. The Mizoram Youth Commission is playing a catalytic role in nurturing youths towards skilling for higher education and employability and helping the youths to find job avenues of different standards. Our Aizawl correspondent has interviewed the chairman of the Mizoram Youth Commission, Dr. Vailal Trunpuya, on various aspects and directions of the commission. Let us go to our correspondent Irene from Aizawl.
Mizoram Youth Commission is a state government agency, and this is entrusted with the task of providing youth with coaching and guidance for all India government services, state government services and all India level entrance examinations. The Commission has of late successfully started a job portal and skill training avenues for the less educated youth and migrant workers. Today, we are here with MYC Chairman Dr. Vailal Trunpuya, who has a vision for nurturing the youth to become skilled human resource and upscale their employability. Under his leadership, the MYC has taken up vigorous measures to benefit a larger section of youth of the state. Welcome, sir, to the Northeast Diary. Here, we want to hear from you about the success of this program. Sir, firstly, we want to know from you about the principal objective and policy of Mizoram Youth Commission.
As the name indicates, that we are taking the task of commissioning the youth of the Mizos in every possible way. This is the main objectives and the policy of the MYC.
In helping youth in getting employment, what are the plans and programs you have adopted now? And especially, how will the recent initiative of online job portal help the youth?
We introduced so far, some of the programs like online job portal. And this is simply meant for the platform in which employer and the employee will meet together. Whoever is wanting to have a job or wanting to have a domestic work, they can browse here in the portal, they can enter here, and anyone who is having that kind of job will post himself here so that they will meet together, so that the job or the work transaction can be here. As of now, since as it is in the formative stage and especially in the midst of the the pandemic prevalence, so people are not into this domain, but as the situation now improves, we are hoping that, job portal will also be accessed by maximum number of populations.
Can you please highlight on the roadmap taken up by MYC for providing training and jobs to the migrant youths and other employed youths?
Here in Mizoram, there are as many as 12,000 migrant workers that for their homes to Mizoram. So in the name of the government, we felt that it is necessary to take initiatives here. We are coming out with a program called Data Generation Program, in which everyone's name is here put, and then the data is here generated, and based on that, we are trying to tap for the funds. And the NEC accepted our funds, and eventually they released us 6 crores for it. In the first phase, 3 crores have been released, and this is again distributed to different departments, so the departments carried out training program in which so many programs are included. And the second program, which is purely to be looked after by the Mizoram Youth Commission, is now initiating through the deputy commissioners of each 11 districts of Mizoram. And this is meant for the unemployed youth, for them to have the employment again.
MYC also executes remarkable programs like coaching services. If you please give a brief on these coaching programs.
Things like the coaching programs we also initiated. So this is something a bit indirect through which they are getting their jobs. We give different coachings, say JEE coaching and NDA coaching and Army coachings, and then Civil Services coaching, All India Service coaching, and Mizoram Civil Service coachings. So different coachings are also giving simultaneously. So these are the remarkable things we are doing as of now.
You have earlier mentioned about special coaching for civil services exam preparations that MYC is providing to the aspiring youth. Why is this so needed? Can you please elaborate on this, sir?
We are now experiencing a very long drought because not cracking the IS examination. We are addressing this issue rigorously. And then the Honorable Chief Minister is also quite delighted in our initiative, and including our Deputy Chief Minister also. He decided that, whoever is aspiring for the civil service examination should be sponsored. The full sponsorship should be given. So as we are practicing now, whatever expenses needed for a particular individual should be borne by the government. So as many as now 20 candidates are now selected, and as I said, they are now sent down. There are 2 academies. One is Chanakya and one is in ALS. I think they are doing fine. Very, very short time from now, we are hoping that a new IAS officer will be had by the state, hopefully.
MYC is also giving youth coaching for army recruitment. How is this initiative being executed?
Here involves, maximum number of populations. And this is exactly what we are targeting now. To cater that program, this army pre-recruitment coaching is very, very important. In last year program which we undertake it, out of 200 people selected for the army here from Mizoram, as many as 60 candidates from Mizoram Youth Commission's program got selected in it. So as many as 60 families are now benefited. We signed an agreement with Counterinsurgency Jungle Warfare, one of the toughest training center in India, down there in Vairengte, and here Assam Rifles. Here we are engaging, some of the highly qualified academicians to teach them, the basic skills and some of the general knowledge. Plus, those people, the armed forces, is giving a specific training exercise. So these are the programs that we are taking up.
The state government is keen to keep the youth in getting jobs in corporate world and also help them to become entrepreneurs. It is learned that MYC is developing a big program for this purpose towards upscaling the skill of the youth all over the state. So can you please give a light on it?
With the suggestions of the Honorable Member of Parliament, K. Lalvena, we are now developing a project of entrepreneurship development program for 11 districts of Mizoram. We are now giving to the Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship. The Honorable Minister, Mr. Mahendranath Pandey also, way back in 2019, I met in his office also, which, the plea that I have submitted to him. With that, we are hoping that we are having a new entrepreneurship program to different districts of Mizoram. Through this, the local youth can be benefited again.
So what is your hope for the next few years in the state, particularly in terms of skilled manpower and employment scheme?
We inherently possess skills, but we are not having, good facilities. If we are more facilitated that is initiated by the government or the corporate or through initiatives that will be given by the MYC. We are hoping that in future we will be giving India, we will be giving the world the best manpower. This is what I can assure.
Thank you, sir, for sparing your valuable time and valuable discussion with us.
Thank you so much.
For Northeast Diary, this is Irene from Aizawl.
Normally, heritage conservation is seen as a state responsibility, but there are a number of individual efforts helping the nation to preserve the history and heritage. Here is an effort in Assam being brought to you by our Silchar correspondent Ritesh Pathak.
The Chaudhary family in Barkala area of Kachar district of Assam has been worshipping an Ashtadhatu idol for almost 3 centuries. This is not only an idol, but this is also one of the few available memories of this renowned Kachar kingdom of Dimasa dynasty. The idol was handed over to the safe custody of this priest family by King Govinda Chandra, who was last emperor in this dynasty. The idol was brought from Kasi by King Krishna Chandra and was worshipped in palaces of Dimasa kings in 18th century. The idol also moved to various places with movement of these kings. Bijit Chaudhary from this priest family told AIR,
राजा गोविंद चंद्र, इनके बड़ा भाई की राजा कृष्ण चंद्र, इंदो प्रभा रानी, इन लोगों ने जो अंतपुर में जो पूजा होता था राजमहल में, वो इन देवी को किया जाता है। तो इसी के दौरान वो चलते चलते हम लोगों के पास आया, क्योंकि हम लोग जो लास्ट में जब रहा तो रानीघाट बोल के है काछार में, वहाँ में पहले लामडिंग, इसके बाद हाफलोंग के बाद काछार में, खासपुर में, और खासपुर के बाद रानीघाट, बाद में हम लोग यहाँ पे आ गए और देवी को भी यहाँ लेके आए। जो बंगला माघ मास होता है, वैशाख जैसे जो माघ मास होता है, इसमें वैष्णवी रूप में देवी को पूजा किया था राजा ने, और उसी दिन में इनका स्थापित हुआ था। वैष्णवी के रूप में पूजा होता है, और माघ मास के माघी पूर्णिमा जो नाम होता है माघी पूर्णिमा, चैत्र महीना में बसंत पूजा में भी देवी का पूजा होता है 3 दिन करके। इसके बाद दुर्गा पूजा तो कंपलसरी, नवरात्रि जो होता है ये तो कंपलसरी, ये तो हम लोग करते हैं। और ऐसे बोल के 3 पूजा साल में 3 बार इनका पूजा होता है, और हर रोज तो रहता ही है, हर रोज तो देना पड़ता ही है।
Such remains of centuries-old empires need to be conserved through united efforts of state and the society. Seeing this example, we may hope for the better future in this regard. This is Ritesh Pathak for Northeast Diary, Silchar, Assam. चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे. And now here are some interesting facts about the Northeast. Did you know that Assam holds an annual fair called Jonbeel Mela, where people barter goods and the transaction thus are completely cashless? The Kwalkuchi village in Assam is one of the largest weaving villages in the world. And with that, we have come to the end of this edition of Northeast Diary. Do join us next week to hear more stories from this enchanting part of India. Bye-bye.